Hey guys, last one for the week, insight number 5. We're in section 39. Now, if you want to know about James Coville and what happened, that's insight number 4, so go watch that one. We're just going to look at verses 12 to 13. Now, this is what James Coville could have done had he stayed and kept his promise to the Lord. But this is something important and goes back to the whole gathering thing that we were talking about, because that's our word this week, is to gather, whether it's gathering people together, gathering for church, gathering for family home evening, or as I explained, and I think the first one or even the second one as well, gathering yourself back in for the day and meditating on that with the Lord. So anyway, 12 and 13. This is gathering Zion, specifically gathering everyone together. So it says, "And it shall come to pass that power shall rest upon thee, thou shalt have great faith, and I will be with thee, and go before thy face. Thou art called to labour in my vineyard, and to build up my church, and to bring forth Zion, that it may rejoice upon the hills and flourish." I love the word flourish. Flourish just gives you the idea that it's just like, wow, and out there, and has all these cute little, I think of a plant just flourishing and just all the little vines growing everywhere, like ivy, just, it's like, oh, it's flourishing. Just love the word. When you're drawing, a flourish is just this cute little, curly Q thing. Well, it's just a nice word. Anyway, so I just thought, well, looking at this one and going to gathering, and are we flourishing right now? Because if you were going to look at us as a church, as a Zion-based church, we're building Zion, we're strengthening together, and we're gathering. And you look at us over the last year and you're like, but I haven't been to church that much because COVID, some of us haven't been able to go back yet. So, it's different, right? So it's been difficult to gather. So how are we? Are we flourishing? Because I think we are. I think so many. You just look, you just search up Come Follow Me groups and home church groups, and there's just so much on social media. The missionaries are still going out. Any attempts to thwart us from learning the gospel, I'm just like, come on, you just made us stronger because we're just doing it at home and we're rocking it. So I think we're flourishing. You might have a different opinion, but I think we're flourishing. I think as a church, based in Zion and gathering, I think we're flourishing. And we're going to get back to church. So, vaccines going around and everybody's getting the vaccine. You might not want to, and that's your choice. That's all good. No judgments at all. I'll get mine because I want to not get COVID, and I'll take the risk. I don't know what's going to come in the future with it, but I feel okay with it. You might not. That's up to you. But the thing comes down to, as he said, that I think we're flourishing. As a church, I think we are. Maybe not individually, some of us, and some days I don't feel too flourishy. But, how are you building Zion right now? Whether it's in your home, whether it's by yourself, whether it's in your calling, at church, what are you doing to build Zion? And how can you bring unity? Because that is building Zion, is bringing unity to bringing us all in and gathering. How are you gathering? So, the last year has made it really hard to gather. It's like physically together. This, though, has only made the opportunities to gather that more special and precious, because when you do gather with someone, isn't it amazing? I've seen a lot lately of, especially in America, where they've had like birthday parties and weddings, and they can now gather because whatever's happened with, I don't know, the restrictions in their area have been loosened. And the joy that they have to be able to gather and to swim in a pool with their cousins and their friends, and they're so happy. The kids are just so happy. And hasn't that made that even more precious, even more special, right? So Zion is where we are. Our homes, our branches, and our wards. You can help gather simply by showing up yourself. By showing up to church, by showing up to a church activity, by showing up every day in prayer, whatever, like that you're showing up to, that's part of the gathering. If you just show up in prayer every day, that's going to help gather. That's going to help you gather yourself. So it's going to make you feel better to go help gather somebody else. That's how it works. So how are you gathering? What are you doing to help gather? Make that your thought for today. What are you doing to gather? I want to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you. What are you doing to help gather? What have I done today to help gather? Drop some food around to my friends who really are just special, special dear friends to me, and I don't know any random. I was just gonna take them some food that I'd made because she had the what feed Joas are. She had the feed Joas. I made the curry because it's a really good recipe and dropped them back to her. Um, and it's on a day where they didn't have lunch and they were really hungry, and I turned up right on lunchtime, and it was perfect because I followed promptings. And I made it yesterday, but it's even better the second day, so it was really good. And to be able to do that, so there was a little bit of gathering. And yeah, they're good members, but it's just those small reminders. I mean, this is our, I'm not going to go into who it was, but they're good covenant keeping temple people. They're not about to go inactive. It wasn't about that, but it's just those small reminders that they get that people love them. That helps gather. So yeah, that's one of the things I did today. I also dropped off something else nice to someone else, and I talk to some other people to be nice to them. That helps gather. There's all sorts of things you can do. I will do more things tonight to help gather. And it's just being that kind of person that wants to bring people in rather than push people away. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard being COVID. Anyway, President Nelson. It's a very good quote, and it's only from the last, I want to say year, but maybe it was 2. I don't know. Anyway, he said, "The gathering of Israel is the most important thing taking place on earth today. Nothing else compares in magnitude, in importance, in majesty. And if you choose to, you can be a big part of it." I think that was from a youth devotional. Yeah, I think that's right. But anyway, that's what he said. I had this quote from something else I used, but I just yeah. The gathering of Israel is the most important thing taking place on earth today. And that gathering can look different in every ward that you're in. And every place right now has different rules about how you gather. So adhere to those. But you can still gather in different ways. And if you choose to, you can be a big part of it. And we get the choice, remember? We talked about that in the third one? Second one. Talked about that in the second one. The choice is yours. And that decision on those things is actually a covenant decision. Oh, I love that too. There's some really good things I've discovered this week. And that's things I've learned. Which, you say, but I learn stuff all the time. This is just my observations. And I just thought these would really uplift you for this week. So hopefully they have. But that's me for this week. And I'm so grateful you joined me. And I will see you again next week. I probably am traveling next week. So I might see you somewhere else. Or even in a slightly exotic location. Maybe I'll go back to shooting in the garden somewhere. I don't know yet. But yeah, I'll see you next week. And fantastic, awesome. Mwah. Have a good weekend. Bye, guys.